What's going on, everybody? Happy Wednesday. That's right. We're going to do a full fall movie preview here today. And we're going over everything from the September, October, November, December. What are the big movies that are going to come out? What are the movies that could potentially get some people talking about awards? What's the movie that, like, what the hell is that? I don't even know that movie's coming out. Is it going to do good? Do we care? Do we not care? And it's going to be myself and the former UFC welterweight champion of the world, my buddy Matt Serra, is going to be doing it with me. So make sure you comment, make sure you subscribe, do all that stuff, man, because we got a full-on episode. It's going to be a fun one. It's going to be a great one. I'm excited for it. Let's do it. Here we go. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the big thing. It is Wednesday, and it is our fall movie preview special. It's myself. Champ is here. What's up, Matt? How you doing, brother?
Buddy, I'm excited to be here, and you know what's exciting about the fall preview? I don't know anything that's coming out.
I know. I'd love that.
So you told me on the way over.
Yeah.
And before we get started, only because of my ADD, I know every movie picture that's on this wall.
Except
the one with the girl with the mug over your left shoulder.
Which one? The one
over your left shoulder.
The one right. Oh, that one. You ever seen Eternal Sunshine from the Spotless Mind?
I never seen that movie.
Oh man, that's a great. See, you know what's funny is we're gonna start doing like a movie watch along thing on my channel, and I got some of my childhood friends are gonna be doing it with me. But I was like, there are some movies I'm sure that you haven't seen that would be great to watch with you.
Is that like a romantic comedy?
No, it's like it's not a romantic comedy.
It's not that I don't want to watch a romantic comedy with you, Kristian.
No. It's you'd actually really like it because it's very cerebral. It's very cerebral.
How about me never hearing about it?
Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. It's probably one of Jim Carrey's best movies.
Oh, that is. Oh, I didn't even know that's Jim. I thought it was the guy from Ufc'S for a second.
Dude, Jim Carrey, Mark Ruffalo,
really?
Elijah
and
Wood.
What is it again? What's it called?
Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind.
You want me to wait to watch it with you?
Yeah,
because I don't know. You doing the what?
It's one of my favorite movies. It's in my top 10 of all time.
Wow.
Yeah, I love it.
I love finding new movies, and I told you about that recently.
Yeah, you did.
But I told you about Bone Tomahawk. I can't stop talking about it.
I love that you talk about it because I was talking about it with Roca, and I said that every time I see you, you bring up that movie, and everybody who sees that movie loves the movie.
Did he like it?
Loved it. He said there's a really gruesome kind of like death in it.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. That'll give
me.
you nightmares. I'm not gonna let you know what happened, but I will tell you this: I don't ever recall seeing a Western horror movie, and that's what it really kind of feels like.
Interesting.
That's all I'll say. That, and you could never go wrong.
Yeah.
With Kurt Russell as a cowboy.
I'm sure.
I'm
sure, right? Of course.
Name a movie where Tombstone. Yeah, he was amazing in that.
He did with Hateful Eight was the other
Hateful
one.
Eight.
Yeah.
And this thing came out in 2015, and I never heard about it. So when I saw it on Netflix, when the movies show up, I'm like, oh, is this a new made for Netflix thing? And I'm like, oh, 2000. I never heard of it. So I put it on, not knowing anything, and holy shit, I love getting surprised like that.
I can't remember if it was the late great John Schnepp or if it was my buddy Dennis Zen, but I believe one of the two when I was at Collider kept talking about that movie.
Really?
Yeah, by when it came out, yeah.
Pleasantly, I don't know how I never heard about it.
Yeah.
2015. Think about that. That's a while ago.
Well, that just shows you, dude, how many movies. There's so much out there right now. There's just so much in general.
Another one before we get into the preview. Shot Caller with Jamie Lannister. I say Jamie Lannister.
Sure.
Did you ever see Shot Caller?
No.
Another one that I found on Netflix, and I go, oh, there's Jamie Lannister. Yeah. I forget the guy's name.
Yeah, Nicolau.
Oh, he's great. Yeah. Now it reminds me loosely, but more brutal. Remember back in the day with Tom Selleck and Innocent Man?
Yeah.
Okay.
Totally, I remember the movie.
So basically, just the premise.
Yeah.
And it happened very quickly, and he's like a business guy, like a yuppie or something, and he's out to eat with his wife and his another couple, and they'd laugh, and he's driving. He might have had too much to drink. He gets into an accident. He goes through a red light.
Yeah.
Hit
somebody.
And there's fatalities, and it was an accident. His wife, but he has to go to do some hard time in a hard place.
Okay.
And the transformation of this guy. Oh my!
Well, we can get to that level because you've seen him as Jamie Lannister.
John Bernathal's in it.
Oh, he's so good.
He's good at everything.
He's a New York guy. John Bernthal.
Yeah.
And so
he's great in it. He's great in it.
Yeah.
And talk about brutal death scenes in that. I mean, it's another one that was, and again, it just what a great movie, and out of nowhere, and I never heard a thing about it. So that's what I like about that. So I recommend, if you're gonna, want something to watch at home, you can't go wrong with Bone Tomahawk and Shot Caller.
Okay,
I mean, check those out, dude.
Now, well, before we move in again, because now this is the beauty when you and I are on here together. We just keep talking about things if it comes up. But like, you brought up John Bernthal.
Yes.
You ever watch his podcast?
I seen clips of it.
So it's
to be honest,
really
what is it
good.
called?
It's
the real ones.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's called Real Ones.
I seen you're on YouTube and you see clips. And, So I seen clips of it with him and Shia LaBeouf.
Shia LaBeouf, and then
Way off.
it's close. But he's interviewed so many great people, but true to the name of the show, he really dives deep and can get into good conversations. I would love to see you on that show.
I'd have to be invited.
I know, but I think he's a fight fan. I really do think he's a fight fan.
You know who knows him? Phoenix.
Really?
Yeah,
dude, you would be so good. I know you don't like to do the whole, that's what made you. What makes you who you are. Is that I love people's stuff, but I'm not. If they want me on the show, I'd love for them to.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, you're not going to reach out. I understand that. But I would love to see you on that show.
Listen, man. I like. I'm interested to see him in the Daredevil Born Again.
Yeah. Did you see the leaked trailer?
I seen some of it, and he's got a beard, and he's attacking Daredevil.
Well, the D23 just happened last week, and they leaked the full trailer, and it looks good, dude. It looks really good.
And speaking of that, isn't it great that it is Marvel back on course now? Could it be? Is Deadpool truly the Marvel Jesus?
You can't make that call yet until Captain America comes out.
Captain America is giving me that Winter Soldier vibe.
I know, but that's the movie that's the most important right now, because in the same way, Deadpool and Wolverine delivered like we thought it would, but it's the second movie that has to deliver. Yeah. That movie's made almost $1.2 billion.
They gotta see that, and they gotta see that and say, all right.
I think
people go into the movies for a good time. That was a roller coaster.
It was.
That was nothing but fun.
Yeah,
and. I was.
Did you laugh your ass off?
I laughed my ass off. It was funny, and you know what I was really impressed with, and I didn't know how they made it work, but they not only did they make it work, it got the biggest fucking pop in the theater when he puts on his fucking the mask, Hugh Jackman.
Oh the Wolverine.
How did they and they made it work? It looked.
It didn't look goofy.
It didn't look goofy.
No,
and it's very hard to do that.
Yeah,
everything from Michael Keaton to, when you look at maybe the Titans show, it's hard to do the masks. Yeah. It really is, because it's like, all right, well, it looks that looks so comic accurate and so great.
Yeah, it worked.
And by the way, I know I was always, preaching about them doing a 5'3" Wolverine. That's not what I wanted when they jumped off the slope. I'm just letting you know. That's not what I really.
But you laugh.
First of all, I love. And I mean, the Age of Apocalypse Wolverine, that brought me back. That was a great series.
Yeah.
The Age of Apocalypse is one of my favorite. He's got the one claw and the one missing hand.
Yeah.
And he was more of a berserker, and he's just sitting there. I love all the variants. And if there's ever, and I'll tell you, with the whole multiverse stuff, you could always do a movie with the Calverine. I thought Henry Cavill looked fucking. I thought he looked phenomenal. Yeah. When he looked comic accurate and
he was great.
It was great.
Yeah,
he was so great.
So Marvel has a shot to come back. They don't. The funny thing is, as we transition into the fall movie previews, that they don't have any more. There's no more Marvel movies this year. It's the first time in a very long time they only have one. Next year they're supposed to have 4, but I think they have 3 total next year. They've got Captain America, they got Thunderbolts, they got Fantastic Four.
Thunderbolts.
Yeah,
I saw the trailer for that. You saw that?
Yeah, it looked
obviously.
Yeah.
I think it looks great.
Yeah,
I like it. I like it. I like what did Julia what's her name?
Julia Louis-Dreyfus.
She said, I believe she said there was a line. I'm gonna murder it, but it was something like, "There's bad people out there, but there's worse people out there." Something. What am I saying? But
I don't know. But
it was great though.
Yeah.
It was cool because these guys are like the anti-heroes for everybody from the the Patriot. What is he called? The Great American? What do they call the guy?
Oh, you mean the John Walker guy?
John Walker.
Yeah.
I like
That's
him.
Kurt Russell's son.
It is Kurt Russell's
Yeah.
son.
Yeah.
But oh wow, I didn't know that.
When you look at it now, you'll never be able to not see it because they're very, very similar. What is it? He was in that. He was in the Kong series,
but they're all kind of like
Godzilla series.
Everything from and of course I love Stranger Things, the Russian and
Hopper.
But these are all like heroes with flaws, like you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And they're not perfect, and especially you saw with John Walker when he had a roid rage and fucking you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So it's like, but I like that. I like the heroes that aren't perfect.
Me too.
You know what I mean?
Me too.
That's why I was always drawn as a kid to Wolverine, the Punisher. Those are my two favorites.
Yeah.
Because they were good, but they were a little off the wall.
They're flawed.
Yeah, they're flawed.
And I like it. So we got a lot. We talk about flawed character. Let's start off right away with
what's that?
September. We're gonna talk.
All right. Now I know nothing.
I love that. And so this is why we'll go into the fall movie preview. And starting off, man, September 6th, Beetlejuice.
Oh!
That's right. The second movie from Tim Burton. This is 40 years later. This movie is on track to make $80 million opening weekend. It is on track to be one of the most profitable September movies of all time. Practical effects, more so. Michael Keaton back, Winona Ryder, Catherine O'Hara. This is a movie that I am very excited for. I can't wait to see it. It's the synopsis reads: "Is still haunted by Beetlejuice, Lydia's life is turned upside down when her rebellious teenage daughter, Astrid, played by Jenna Ortega from Wednesday, of course, discovers the mysterious model of the town in the attic, and the portal to the afterlife is accidentally opened. With trouble in both realms, it's only a matter of time until someone says Beetlejuice's name 3 times, and the mischievous demon releases to unleash his own brand of mayhem." So that synopsis, Matt.
I'm excited about it.
Have you seen the trailer?
I loved. Yes,
Okay.
I did, and I loved the. Who doesn't love the first Beetlejuice? I mean, the
It's so good.
Beetlejuice. I mean,
Iconic
it is a
character.
classic, and Michael Keaton still has it.
Of course.
If he was the best part of that Flash movie,
Yeah.
and I loved seeing him as Batman, and he still has it. It's not like he's old and can't move. He could, I could see him just getting nutty as Beetlejuice, and it looks like it's done well from what I've seen with the trailer. And I like that Jenna Ortega.
Jenna Ortega, yeah.
It almost she fits that role perfectly.
Didn't you watch Wednesday? You watched Wednesday. Didn't
Yes,
you?
I
liked it a lot.
enjoyed
Yeah,
Wednesday.
Yeah,
Yes.
so I think that's what they're doing that's smart, is that they're bringing in. You liked Cobra Kai also, didn't you?
The latest season's rough. They
I
jumped
like
the
the
shark.
Really?
You know what? This is the thing. It reminds me of the Pitch Perfect movies.
Oh, okay.
The first
First
Pitch
one's
Perfect, the first Pitch Perfect movie is so good, and the second one, not bad, not bad. The third one, they're fighting ninjas and terrorists. I mean, come on. I mean, now.
Well, yeah.
So the first one's a real movie.
Yeah.
That's like a real.
Right.
Oh,
Pitch Perfect, yeah.
First of all, love that movie.
Yeah.
And I love Skyler. He's a friend of mine.
Oh,
Skyler,
yeah.
I love Skyler. He's a great guy. But it's cute. Now I get one time I was at a UFC thing and he did a nice shout out with like the whole staff of the Pitch Perfect when they were filming the second movie to my kids and stuff, to the Serra family. It was cute.
Is that why you don't like 2 and 3? Because he's not in the 2 and 3.
Well, the second one was just a little bit more for the ladies, when the other one was a little bit more equal.
Everybody,
because he had his part in it too.
Yeah.
The other one was more girl power, which is fine. It was still fun, the second one. But then the third one, again, they're fighting terrorists. And so they jumped the shark.
Well,
so with the Cobra Kai in the first one,
a little more grounded. Yeah,
it was very grounded.
You got to understand.
It was so great.
I know.
By the third one, getting samurai swords, they're fighting to the death. Now they're training in the woods. The guy's wanted by the police.
So initially, that I was like, now they're able to learn karate that fast and they're jumping off trees. And then I said, oh, now I know what this is. And it's like combined with wrestling and a little fantastic stuff and going over the top. So I'm on board with it. But my point with that though is that the way that what they did well is they got people like us in our generation, because Johnny Lawrence and Daniel were back. We're like, cool. But then what they also did is they introduced new people and new kids, and that's what Beetlejuice is doing. They're bringing in Jenna Ortega and saying, look, for people who like Wednesday, the young kids will go see it, and then for us, we want to see. It's very smart.
That's very smart. I didn't even think of that, but that's smart. And she's good though. She plays that brooding teen,
You believe that she's Lydia Dietz's daughter.
Oh yeah,
yeah. But that's September 6th.
That's great.
Then the following week,
starting off strong.
Yeah, and then following week is something called The Killer's Game, which is Dave Bautista. Now, this is the synopsis. This sounds like something that Matt Serra would like. When the top hitman, Joe Flood, is diagnosed with terminal illness, he decides to take matters into his own hands by taking a hit out on himself. But when the very hitman he hired also target his ex-girlfriend, he must fend off an army of assassin colleagues and win back the love of his life before it's too late.
Why does he want the hit on himself?
Because he got a terminal illness.
So what? He wants somebody to try to kill him?
Yeah, because he doesn't want to do it himself.
But he doesn't want to go through the pain of going through the terminal.
I don't know.
I got you.
Yeah, so it's
but then they're going. Why are they going after his girlfriend?
Not sure. We're gonna have to find out on September 13th. But it's
all right.
Yeah, but it's Dave Bautista, who I like, and
he's great.
People keep asking this question. I'm curious if you feel the same way. Out of the wrestlers that went out there to start a career, right? Whether and I guess you can include Hulk Hogan, Batista,
The
Rock, John Cena. Not best career-wise. Who do you think is the best actor?
That's interesting. I'll tell you. You know, who is in the Stanitsky?
The which one? That's Cena. Right?
Cena, yeah. This is it. I'm going to say, like, dramatic. I love Dave Bautista in the new Blade Runner.
Yes.
I mean, it shows you his
Dune,
range.
Dune.
Oh, and Dune, too. Yeah, that was great. Oh, fuck. How about this? I was watching Dune this morning.
Yeah, dude, why do you think I put that behind you?
I
put that behind you.
Those two movies are definitely two of my up there in my favorite movies. Top 5.
Yeah. So Batista, when we initially had the conversation, I thought that Rock had a lot of range that he doesn't be able to show. But I think Batista is the clear winner because not only he was also in this movie with that Shyamalan did in the beginning of the year. I can't remember what the hell it was called. The beginning of this year, last year, I can't remember when it was. But it was it was like the end of the world type scenario. He's really, really good in the movie. He's like really good. He's the lead of it, and I think he's the best. So I'm curious about that.
My thing is, but with the range, the comedy. I mean, the comedy's a hard thing to do. Rock does it well too. The Rock was great in Jumanji.
The Rock was but the thing with The Rock is also who I'm a massive fan of The Rock. But you do, and that's why the Smashing Machine is going to be so interesting.
Oh, I can't. Well, when is that coming out?
That's not this year, but it's next year, I think. But
can't wait for that.
Yeah, me too. But that's where you're going to because we talked about that last time you were on the show that you're going to see a side of him that you haven't seen because mostly when you see him, it's like, oh, well, it's The Rock and he's doing good and he's this chemistry. But Batista's done it a couple of times. You're like, wow, he kind of transformed himself, whether it was Dune, but anyway. So that movie comes out that week. The same weekend is a movie called Speak No Evil with Professor X himself, James McAvoy. And this is
what's that about?
This is a movie. It's called, let me see, I'll give you the full synopsis right now. Okay, when an American family is invited to spend the weekend at the idyllic country estate of charming British family they befriended on vacation, what begins as a dream holiday soon wraps into a snarled psychological nightmare. The director of this movie did a movie, I think in like 2012 with Daniel Radcliffe called The Woman in Black.
Okay.
It's scary. It was a creepy film. It only did 54%, or no, actually 66% by the audience, by the critics, but 54% by the audience. I remember Ellis and I went and saw that. It's a creepy movie.
Okay.
So
never heard of it.
McAvoy plays creepy really well. So I feel like Speak No Evil could be something. But it's always the thing is with September is that you can get hit or misses in September, and a lot of horror movies in September in the same way that you get horror movies in January. But like, you know, it's
why January? I understand
why
the whole Halloween.
Why do they put toilet? We call it the toilet bowl season.
Why?
So normally, what happens in January is you'll get movies that pop in with lower budgets. Because
with my stomach, every season's toilet bowl season. I'm in the fucking. Do you ever use a squatty potty? By the way,
no, but I have Tushy. You know Tushy. Tushy's great. You'll give the bidet.
What the hell's a Tushy?
Bidet. I use the Tushy, the bidets. You got to use.
I have one of those toilets that has the whole. It's like a remote control, sprays, it dries.
They have portables. These things, but they're not even sponsored today. But they're great.
Oh, wow, we're gonna look into that.
I got to tell you, I got to give you the code.
Tell me about that.
Give you the code.
But the squatty potty. Yeah, I'm not sponsored by them either. It's just a little stool you put your knees on and.
That's it.
Anyway, it's great. But back to toilet bowl season.
Yeah. So what they do in January, because they have like a lot of times the studio has a marketing budget, and the stuff that they're not very confident with, they put in January and lands in January. There's not a lot of marketing behind it. It seems like, okay, let's put some stuff out there. But the other things that usually land in January are horror movies because they're low budget movies and not a lot of people are going to the movies in January. So they go out and you don't spend a lot of money on the budget in general and you hope that it makes some kind of profit that if you do go, you're going to see a horror movie. Okay. So like that stupid movie that came out with Kurt Russell's son, I always forget the name, Night Swim, about the haunted pool. And it was a Blum. You're right.
You lost me already on that one.
But this is what they're doing so brilliantly over there, Matt. I talk about this and I joke about this. This is a bunch of dudes sitting around, stoned out of their faces, going, "Hey, we're Blumhouse. We make everything, and we make it for nothing, and then we make a lot of money. So what should we make a movie about next?" The guy takes a hit off his joint and goes, "I'm about a haunted pool." Johnny swimming in the pool over there. And and they did it. And they made it for like $5 million. They made a profit on it, and they put it in January.
Don't quote me on this, but I heard that you're gonna think I'm obsessed with it. I get obsessed with stuff. I heard that Bone Tomahawk was under like a couple $1 million. It was something really cheap. Let's see what that is.
Tomahawk. What is it? Bone Tomahawk.
Bone Tomahawk. See how much that was made for. I guarantee it was a very low budget. I remember
1.8. Wow.
Under $2 million.
What? Yeah, that's crazy.
And
that's
crazy. You, that's what I'm talking about.
How they made the movie? How did they move?
I heard they took pay cuts or whatever it was.
Kurt Russell probably got points on the movie.
But
I've never heard of a movie being
and it's done so well
with a guy like that.
It's done so well.
1.8. It gave the film a limited release on October 20th. They're grossing over $480,000 in theaters. I want to look at box office and see how much money that.
This one will go down as a cult classic because people are going to start hearing about it now. I mean, it's 9 years later. I've never heard of it. Let
me see. I'm going to tell you right now how much it made overall in the box office. It has made.
It couldn't have done that well.
Well, it only made $382,000 in
I never heard of it
in the theater. So it's going to make its, but it's going to make its money. What you just said on streaming
by people seeing it and being like, "Oh, where did this come from?"
Yeah. All right, so that comes out. That movie comes out on the 13th. Then September 20th.
Yeah, get me excited again. What else we got?
Well, this movie called Bagman. These are still smaller movies. This is another horror movie that pops out, and this thing Bagman, which is now a father desperately struggles against his deepest inner fear when his childhood monster once again returns to haunt him. This time, however, the fight isn't for himself; it's for his family. This is directed by the guy who does Peaky Blinders. The cast in this one. Got Sam Claflin from The Hunger Games. That's really the only person I know. But again, horror movie that pops in this time of the month. I don't know anything about it yet. You never know when these things hit. It could be something. It could be nothing.
Yeah, that doesn't get me too excited.
No. And then there's a Halle Berry movie that comes out.
Oh, Catwoman 2?
Yes, it is.
Is she making her? She reprising her role just like Elektra came out?
A new multiverse. So they have Never Let Go, which is as an evil takes over the world. Beyond their front doorstep, the only protection for her mother and her twin sons in her house and their family's protective bond, needing to stay connected at all times, even tethering themselves with ropes. They cling on to one another, urging each other to never let go. But when one of the boys questions if the evil is real, the tie that binds them are severed, triggering a terrifying fight for survival. This is a Lionsgate movie. It's got Halle Berry, Percy Daggs. Alexandra Aja, who is a very good horror kind of director, is directing this. So again, this could be one of those ones that you're just like, oh, that was creepy. I didn't even know what the hell that was. But again, you see what I'm talking about, more horror movies, more thrillers. But then that same weekend is Transformers 1. Now,
all right.
Now, this is a movie that
what does this look like? Is it it's an live action?
Film. It's an anime. Chris Hemsworth is doing Prime. So you're not going to hear Autobots, roll out. You're going to hear Chris Hemsworth. You're going to hear Brian Tyree Henry as Megatron, Scarlett Johansson as Alita, Keegan-Michael Key as Bumblebee, John Hamm, Sentinel Prime. This is like and Lawrence Fishburne as Alpha Trion, directed by Josh Cooley. And it's essentially the trailer. It's like shows Megatron, and it's aimed towards the younger kids.
Okay,
and it's the formation of Optimus Prime and Megatron's relationship. They're not even those names yet. They're like buddies, and then it shows it's like
well, that's interesting. I mean, listen, just for nostalgia, I'll watch that.
When I saw the trailer, I said, "This looks like garbage."
Oh, really?
At first.
Oh, okay.
And then when I I was watching Despicable Me 77, whatever the thing is, and it was with my kids. And I looked at my kids, and they were both like, "Oh, I want to see that." And I'm like, "Oh, I get it.
It's geared for them.
It's and it's not. And obviously, it's gonna, if it's funny enough, it'll be geared towards adults also that can appreciate it. But like my point of it is that that's who they're targeting though. They're not targeting the the nostalgia. They're going for kind of new generation and telling this story. And I'm like, from early word is that it tested pretty well. So
what was pretty hardcore for a kids movie was
one?
That original Transformers the movie.
Yeah, it was. I love that.
I remember seeing that being like, whoa, they just took out Ironside
They
and
took out everybody.
Took them all out.
Talking about everybody.
It's like, wait, they're done. It was really wild, but the soundtrack.
It's my favorite Transformers.
You've got the touch.
Yeah,
I'm not going to go through the whole song, but I can. Yeah. But it was so great. Yeah. I used to love it.
Yeah, it
was great. That was a great movie.
It's my favorite Transformers movie.
Yeah, that was fantastic. And speaking of Helmsworth, you could do worse. And this was one that's brand new.
Yeah,
his brothers in Land of the Bad or Land of.
What is that?
Could you check if it's Land of the Bad?
Yeah, let me see.
Because it's on
Netflix.
It's on Netflix.
Okay.
And I'll tell you, you could do a lot worse. It's a good movie. It's something that it's like
Land of Bad.
Land of Bad. My bad. I threw a thumb in it.
Yeah.
Land of Bad. You could do a lot worse. It's a fun movie. It's he's kind of like Helmsworth, the brother. Which one is it?
Liam, right?
Liam.
Yeah.
He's great in it.
Yeah.
And he's going out on like a first mission with a special ops team. And Russell Crowe's like the guy in the tower, like. And they watching them with it's very.
I know what it is.
I'll tell you,
Mila Ventimiglia.
Me and my wife watched it the other night and pleasantly surprised. It was it was good. It was a lot of action and and again, it's all about the characters. Some of the special forces guys, like you get to know enough about them to care. Yeah. And then I don't want to give too much away, but there's one. And they're just certain things they say is just so badass.
Okay.
And it's like, because you see, like, and you get to know enough about them who has a family, who doesn't. Next thing you know, this guy's gone, and how the other guys just deal with it. Like, no, he's gone. You got to concentrate on that. It's just very. It's really I'll tell you, man. Deep. I liked it.
Okay.
I liked it.
Okay.
So Land of Bad.
Land of Bad. I'll check that one out too. So that, and then closing out September 27th. You've got a movie called Lee. This movie, this is Kate Winslet, who I'm a massive fan of. I love Kate Winslet. She's in a movie called Lee, which is this film portrays a pivotal decade in the life of American war correspondent and photographer Lee Miller. Miller's singular talent and unbridled tenacity resulted in some of the 20th century's most undeniable images of war, including an iconic photo of Miller herself posing defiantly in Hitler's private bathtub. This is Kate Winslet. This is Andrea Riseborough, Alexander Skarsgård, Andy Samberg, Marion Cotillard. This is a great cast. And with the director, Ellen Kuras. I don't know who that is. But that's one of those movies.
And it's based on a real...
Yeah. Anytime you put Kate Winslet... Now, once you start getting into late September, October, any one of these movies like this, could hit like award stuff. The two big movies that weekend are Megalopolis, which is the new Coppola movie.
What is that?
That is Lawrence Fishburne, John Voight, Natalie Emmanuel, Forrest Whitaker, Adam Driver, Aubrey Plaza.
What's the
summary is that a Roman epic fable set in an imagined modern America. The city of New Rome must change, causing conflict between Caesar Catalina, a genius artist who seeks to leap into a utopian, idealistic future, and his opposition, Mayor Franklin Cicero, who remains committed to a regressive status quo, perpetuating greed, special interests, and partisan warfare. Torn between them is a socialite, Julia Cicero, the mayor's daughter, whose love for Caesar has divided her loyalties, forcing herself to discover what she truly believes humanity deserves. Sounds interesting. I mean, it's Coppola.
It is Coppola.
Yeah. Not here. You know the whole thing behind this thing?
You said it's Francis Ford Coppola?
Francis Ford Coppola. Now, the thing that happened...
What has he done lately?
Not anything in a long time, but he was doing something. This movie took a while for him to get it sold to Lionsgate Distributor. He spent a lot of his own money on this movie. It's not... You would assume that it's going to be like a 2-hour and 50-minute movie. Apparently, it's only 2 hours and 10 minutes. I hear that it's kind of all over the place, but then I hear it's still got a lot of good ideas behind it, but it's Coppola, so you give him the benefit of the doubt. I'll be interested in seeing that one.
Yeah, I'll watch it just for that, just that it's Coppola, and it sounds interesting.
Are you an animated guy?
Oh shoot, yeah. You know what's funny? I'm an animated guy, but I'm not an anime guy.
Yeah, well, there's an animated film coming out that weekend, The Wild Robot, which is you talk about stellar cast. I mean, this got Pedro Pascal, it's got Lupita Nyong'o, it's got Catherine O'Hara, Bill Nye, Kid Connor. And the summary is essentially that a robot, for short, is shipwrecked on an uninhabited island and must learn to adapt to the harsh surroundings, gradually building relationships with the animals on the island and becoming the adoptive parent of an orphaned gosling. This is definitely something I'm going to take my kids to see. And it looks pretty sweet from what I saw. I did a trailer reaction for this.
Who's it done by? Disney?
No, I feel like it's DreamWorks.
All right.
I feel like it's DreamWorks. It's not Disney though. It's DreamWorks. It's DreamWorks.
All right. Yeah, I'll give that a shot with the kids.
Yeah. Okay, so that's September. We're going to jump into October.
Let's go.
In just a minute. Because before I do that, I got to tell you guys, as I've told you guys many times over, how important it is to tell you about our wonderful sponsors that we have on the show. And two of those, both AG1 and Liquid IV. I mean, I've told you guys time and time again about both of them, but here you go. Here's a little bit more.
And I got to tell you about AG1. You guys know AG1. I mean, if you've been listening to this show long enough, you know that I love AG1. And people keep asking me. They notice. John even said when I started, new look, 20 pounds I lost. One of those reasons, AG1 became part of my routine. Because for a long time, I wasn't paying attention to what was going on in my body. It just wasn't. For me, I read labels, I verify that everything is up to the quality I need, and that is why I've stayed with AG1 for as long as I have. It is a research-backed foundational nutrition supplement, and it delivers daily nutrients, gut health support, and is backed by multiple research studies so you can trust what you're putting into your body. Because I like coffee. I used to drink so much coffee to keep up, but I don't need it anymore, not as much, because after drinking AG1, I have realized that I have all this energy and I need less coffee to power my day. It turns out I'm not alone, because in a research study, 91% of people noticed they needed less coffee after 60 days of drinking AG1. 97% of people in a research study felt more energy after 30 days of drinking AG1. That's crazy. 91% of participants noticed that they need less coffee after 60 days of drinking AG1. That's me. Energy is a majorly important reason why it comes to I need so much energy for parenting. I can tell you that right now. AG1 contains ingredients to sustain energy so you can be the best version of yourself within each day. And it really has worked for me, and it's helped me on the plane, everything. It's easy, it's satisfying to start your journey with AG1. If you go to AG1 and you can get a free 1-year supply of vitamin D3K2 and 5 free AG1 travel packs with your first purchase. You got to go to drinkag1.com/bigthing. drinkag1.com/bigthing. It's the one product I trust to support my whole body health. It's AG1.
I was having a barbecue with the family, and I was going to go and we went to pick up some games for the kids to play, and I was picking up cornhole, and while I was at the sports store getting it, I kept seeing Liquid IV, and more, I'm so excited that people are learning about Liquid IV, because I've known about them now for a bit since they've been on the show. It's the summer. The summer is thick right now, and your favorite summer treat could be giving you extraordinary hydration. Liquid IV has refreshing summer flavors like popsicle firecracker, it's got rainbow sherbet. It hits the spot when you need transformative, hydrating relief all summer long. So I really do enjoy it. It's been nice to have it. I moved, and I live in a very humid area now, and it's great to have Liquid IV. It really is, and I love this popsicle one, so I'm showing it right now. So what you want to do is they have so many different flavors too that makes it just really, really fresh. And you can choose from their line of sugar-free flavors. They have raspberry melon, they have white peach, they have green grape. It's great. You can go to the website and you can find all of it. It keeps your wellness rituals fresh, and it keeps you motivated, keeps you hydrated. So what you want to do is you want to tear, pour, live more. One stick, 16 ounces of water hydrates better than water alone. It's powered by LIV Hydroscience, which is an optimized ratio of electrolytes, essential vitamins, and clinically tested nutrients that turn ordinary water into extraordinary hydration. It's got 3 times the electrolytes of the leading sports drink, 8 essential vitamins and nutrients, always non-GMO, vegan, gluten-free, dairy-free, and soy-free. So indulge in hydration this summer with Liquid IV. Get 20% off your first order of Liquid IV, but you got to use liquidiv.com and use the code BIGTHING at checkout. You get 20% off your first order when you shop Better Hydration today. Use that promo code BIGTHING at liquidiv.com. All right, thank you to our friends over at AG1 and Liquid IV. If you want to help out the show and you want to hit that button, get yourself something wonderful. Obviously, AG1 Liquid IV. Okay, moving on to October, Matt. We got this. Now, this is when it's going to start to get pretty solid.
All right.
I know you're gonna. There's one in particular I know you're going to get excited for.
Oh, snap.
And I might be. Yep. It's the first weekend in October. Okay. October 4th, my birthday weekend.
Okay.
Joker. Folly Ado is
interesting.
The second movie. Joaquin Phoenix, Lady Gaga. Yeah, and he's going to be in the. Did you like the first one?
I did.
Yeah,
I enjoyed it. It makes you a little uncomfortable, which is cool. That's what it's made to do.
Yep.
And the whole laughing uncontrollably. He's handing out the card. I enjoyed it.
Yeah,
I did.
Me too. Did you like the trailer for the new one?
I did. I think it looks interesting, and I think she's a good choice for Harley Quinn.
Me too. I think she's a great choice.
choice.
Especially what they're going to do with the idea that, this musical's happening inside of their head and all the nuttiness happening, and then the way that they see the world, and having her with that powerful voice. And he can sing too, if you remember from when he did the Johnny Cash movie.
Oh, did they use his?
He sang, dude. He sang all the songs. So that movie to me is one of my most anticipated of the year. I feel like Joker 2 is going to be. You got a shot for that movie. That's another one that has the first one made. I feel like it made $1 billion, or at least close to it. I feel like it did. I think it's going to do very, very well.
And Todd Phillips is doing it again?
Todd Phillips is doing it again.
So it's going to be quality.
Yes, and it's the first. And if you go back into what we just talked about in, September, there's the only really big movie that could do well, because I think Transformers 1 could do well, not to the level of what I think. Oh yeah, and then obviously Beetlejuice. Beetlejuice will be the big winner, I think, of September. But then you don't really have any big competition until Joker. And once Joker comes out, Joker's going to start slapping things around. Joker's going to be a monster.
It's going to be huge, Joker.
A monster. And speaking of monsters, there's something called Monster Summer coming out that weekend. Whitebird, A Wonder Story. And then you get into October 10th, whatever Devara Part 1 is. I don't know what that is.
What did you just say with the monster thing? What was that?
There's something called, I don't know, what the hell is this thing called? It's called Monster Summer. I don't know what that is.
And there's nothing else with it?
Nothing really else.
All right. We don't know if that could be literally anything. A monster, or it could be just a party of a summer.
Could be anything. So then October 11th, there's something called My Hero Academia, the movie. You're next. Piece by Piece. What's that? Piece by Piece is a movie, and that is with Pharrell Williams. It's a documentary. So that is coming out. But then Saturday night is quickly becoming one of my most anticipated movies of the year.
What is that about?
This is about the first night of Saturday Night Live. It's right before it goes live. It's at 11:30 p.m. on October 11th, 1975. A ferocious troupe of young comedians and writers changed television forever. Directed by Jason Reitman and written by Kilgannon and Reitman, Saturday Night is the true story of what happened between the scenes in the 90 minutes leading up to the first broadcast of Saturday Night Live. Full of humor, chaos, and the magic of a revolution that almost wasn't. We count down the minutes in real time to the famous words, live from New York, Saturday night.
Now, is it a documentary, or is it new actors acting like Eddie Murphy and all these?
Well,
guys?
Murphy didn't come into the scene until a few years later. He wasn't.
John, but I see him on the poster over there.
No, that's not Murphy. That's Garrett. That's what's his name? Morse.
I'm way off.
Yeah,
and that's John Belushi though.
Yeah, it looks just like him, doesn't it? It's not him. It looks just like him. So, and then Dylan O'Brien plays Dan Aykroyd. The guy playing Chevy Chase looks fantastic.
Yeah,
it looks. This is going to be potentially, if done right and the critics get behind it, I think this movie is award season all over it. It looks so good. I'm pumped for it.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Because it's the first time with the first ever Saturday Night Live. That's the premise is.
You need to watch that trailer.
Oh, I will. I'm going to watch that shit immediately.
October 18th, Flight Risk. This is a Mark Wahlberg movie. And so Mark Wahlberg coming back in. This is Topher Grace, Michelle Dockery, Mel Gibson directing this one.
Oh,
this is called Flight Risk, and the summary, no summary for Flight Risk yet, but there's but this is look, Mel Gibson. Say what you want about all this stuff. You separating the art from the artist, right?
Yes, you have to do that a lot nowadays.
You do. But Mel Gibson has directed if not my favorite movie of all time in Braveheart.
Braveheart was great.
Braveheart's one of my Empire Strikes Back and Braveheart are probably my two favorite movies of all time. So and he's a great director. He's a great director. The stuff, even the one that he did recently with Andrew Garfield, I guess in the last 5 or 10 years.
What was that?
The war movie. I forget the name of it, but it was about the guy who basically the medic who saved everybody on the hill in World War. And he but it's a fantastic film. I can't remember. I'll
let
bring
me know
up
what
the name
that
of
is
it.
later.
Oh God, I'll bring up the name of it. It's a great movie. He's a great director. To see him and Mel Gibson and Mark Wahlberg together, this could be an interesting one, and could be one that shocks a lot of people.
Oh
So
shit!
we'll say Flight Risk, and again, coming out in October is these are those types of movies though. This is a movie to me that I feel like you would discover on Netflix and tell me about it.
What,
Flight Risk? You know,
I mean,
right in a couple of years.
With actors like, that's why I was surprised that Kurt Russell did that. I didn't hear about it.
Yeah.
But with Mark Wahlberg, this is probably going to get out there, you know?
Yeah, it'll be. I mean, it's just a matter of what kind of competition are we looking at in that time, and right now,
And yet we don't even know what the hell it's about.
we don't know what it's about yet. So so at that time, you're gonna have Joker will be far enough into its run that you have Flight Risk, and then the same weekend of Flight Risk is Smile 2.
Yeah, my family likes that stuff. My wife and 2 out of my 3 daughters
Like the horror stuff?
Yeah, they like that horror. They did a Halloween marathon.
Okay.
They watch everything. My youngest always loved Chucky.
Okay.
You know?
Well, I like Naomi Scott. Naomi Scott is in this. I never saw Smile 1, so I don't know if I'm going to be lost. I probably have to catch up
that's
on it.
creepy shit, man.
It is creepy stuff.
I remember, but if you're into creepy stuff, it does work.
That's one of the ones.
Man.
That's one I told you I'm doing the series of like watching movies for the first time. That might be one that I watch with somebody. Maybe one of the new people who are watching the movies with me, because I've never seen the first one. So maybe I watch that one right before 2 comes out. But that comes out. Smile 2 comes out October 18th. Now this is an interesting one.
That's gonna be big though. Smile
It is.
too.
It is. The first one made a lot of money.
Big, yeah.
Venom, The Last Dance. That's October. That is Tom Hardy once again. You got Juno Temple, Chiwetel Ejiofor, great cast.
I can see Tom Hardy as a Wolverine variant.
Yeah, the problem is now because he's so locked in as Venom is that.
That's true.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot about that. But I'll tell you right now, he does jiu-jitsu tournaments.
Does he?
Oh, what? You put that in YouTube? Yeah, he does. He does. I think as a blue belt, and he's out there strangling
Did
people.
he learn that from Warrior? Is that when he got
I don't know how he got into it, but he loves jiu-jitsu, man.
Yeah.
And he's out there competing.
Really?
Over in
That's
the UK,
interesting.
I believe. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's
and
a
it's
lot of
great.
guys.
It's
There's a
very
lot of guys
cool.
that do that too, right? Isn't Statham into jiu-jitsu also? I thought Statham was.
I'm not sure, but you know what's funny about that? Me and my wife just finished The Beekeeper last night.
Wasn't that a fun movie?
Fun movie.
I like
It's
that
very
movie.
John Wickish.
Yeah.
It's over the top. Over the top.
Super over the
But
top.
that's a lot of Jason
How
Statham
ridiculously wonderful was that South African guy at the end?
movies. I
They
thought.
fight to the car.
The whole
So
and I like the girl in it, the cop.
She's from Umbrella Academy.
I know my wife told me that.
Yeah. So
She was great.
I actually liked her better in Umbrella Academy because I
I
just
liked her in this. I thought she was. She
I
played.
thought it was a little over the top for me, but
Yeah. Well, no, the whole. I mean, no. Listen, the
Yeah.
whole fucking movie
Yeah,
is
it's true.
over. You have to really.
Yeah.
I mean, but that's what he's kind of known for. When you see Jason Statham,
Yeah.
it's it's going to be like he's a John Wick every
Yeah.
time.
oh, kicking your
And
face, you know me.
That's what it reminded me of.
Yeah.
But the best is when the one guy's in there and he's in there with all the special forces guys.
Yeah.
He goes Delta, and you got the what he was naming all the Navy SEALs. You're all pussies to the beekeeper. It's like, yo, man, calm down.
I know.
Fucking, really?
Yeah,
He's
100%.
shitting on all the special forces. The beekeeper.
The Beekeeper.
Yeah. And they kept going back.
They
Hey,
kept going
listen,
back.
it wasn't
It's fun.
fantastic,
Yeah,
but
it's fun.
it's just fun. It's what you
I like
expect.
David Ayer. All right, so jumping back to Venom. Now, I forget, Matt, where you stand on this. I feel like Venom, to me, the first one, I know what they were going for. They're going for like this kind of old school 1990s feel.
Yeah.
Some people really enjoy the first one. Even I was more excited for the second one because Andy Serkis was directing it, and I don't really like either of them. I like Tom Hardy a lot.
Yeah.
But the movies to me are just kind of are fairly forgettable. But people like them. The first one did better than the second one, and I wonder if people still care about the third. But I feel like it's going to do decent.
I neither hate or love them. I'm kind of indifferent. I enjoy. I don't leave unsatisfied. I think it's fun. Tom Hardy's great. I was never a big Venom guy,
Yeah,
but for a character that I don't really like, Tom Hardy, I think's I think he's great as Eddie. Was it
Brock.
Eddie Brock?
Yeah.
I think he's great as Eddie Brock, and they had a fun. It sounds weird. He has a nice chemistry with the Venom, like in the movie. It's It's
a buddy cop.
It's like a buddy cop movie. But it's enjoyable. I'll watch it. But it's not like Deadpool.
No.
You know what I mean?
Well, they certainly know what it is. They know the tone of it. They know what it is, and they know what they're going for. The question is, will we care? And the cast is great. Chiwetel Ejiofor, Juno Temple. So I'm hoping that it turns out to be the best out of the three. But I'm not necessarily too excited for it. But who knows? And then following up if you look at all of October, I'm going to tell you that the movie that definitely wins out of all of this for box office wise, Joker.
Yeah, hands down.
Joker. So you're going to have Joker in October, Beetlejuice in September, and then you move on to November, and there's something called Absolution, which is a Liam Neeson movie, I think. Yeah, Liam Neeson, Ron Perlman. That's a cool little cast. Yolanda Ross. It doesn't give you a good summary about it. I would assume it's an action movie or something like that.
He kind of is really just
all in on that.
Yeah, at one point he wasn't. He was doing all different stuff, and now he's just
he's getting the paycheck. He cares. That's what people are paying him to do. He's working. He's putting money in his bank account. And then you get that movie Here, which is Robert Zemeckis reteaming with Tom Hanks and Robin Wright from Forrest Gump fame.
Okay, interesting.
Robert Zemeckis, Paul Bettany, Kelly Riley. Have you seen this trailer, Matt?
No, I did not.
So it's like the whole thing is essentially in like this house, and they go through the years in the house and how much time they've been, their entire lives. And the trailer was a little too revealing to me. I think you see the whole movie.
All right.
But I like the fact that Tom Hanks and Robin Wright are teaming up again, and Robert Zemeckis back. So
Robert Zemeckis did, I believe, one of my favorite movies in Ready Player One. Did he?
Is he the one?
Did he or no?
Spielberg directed that.
Maybe he did. Maybe I'm way off. Does he have anything to do with it, Zemeckis?
Spielberg directed that one.
What is Robert Zemeckis? Does Robert Zemeckis have anything to do with that movie?
I wouldn't be surprised.
You know what's funny though? It did have. You know why though? It gave me kind of like it was one of those feel good, like Back to the Future type feels in that movie. That was a great movie. It was like one of those adventures, and I enjoyed the characters. I enjoyed the whole story, and not to mention I love VR.
I thought it was underrated.
I really enjoyed that movie.
A lot of people shit on that movie.
Who shits on? Well, you know what it is? I think that's the guys that read the book. Oh, it's not like the book. Well, I didn't read the book.
Yeah, fair enough.
You know?
Yeah, Here is Zemeckis' film.
Okay.
And then a movie called Hit Pig, whatever the hell that is. Hit Pig is Jason Sudeikis and Rainn Wilson, whatever that is. That's probably a comedy, and I would say it comes out on November 1st. So look out for Hit Pig. My Dead Friend Zoe, which is another Sonequa Martin Green, Natalie Morales. It's another one. I'm not really sure what that is. It's smaller movies in this side. Then an untitled Universal event film. That to me, I don't know what that means. They do that sometimes. They put these untitled things in there, but like that means nothing's coming out. Because at this point in August, if they don't know what that is, then what are they holding that date for? So I don't know what that is. November 1st, and then November 8th, the following is really nothing except the best Christmas pageant ever, which is a movie with I don't know any of these people.
Wow.
It's a smaller movie. But then you jump to, now we start to get some holiday movies. There's Red One, where we were just talking about Dwayne Johnson. We got J.K. Simmons, Dwayne Johnson, Chris Evans. And this is, have you seen the trailer for this one?
What? I think he's...
Yeah, this is after a villain kidnaps Santa from the North Pole, an elf, extremely large and formidable operative, must partner with the world's most accomplished tracker to find Santa and save Christmas. So this is a fun take on Santa being but an action star, and then he gets kidnapped. So now The Rock is like his good goody two shoes elf, and he goes to help, and he's got to team up with Chris Evans to save the world.
With Chris Evans?
Yeah, to Captain America himself.
Who's Chris Evans?
He's like he's a tracker. He's the world's most accomplished tracker. So,
and is it what kind of tone is it? Is it dark or is
it's like it's like an action comedy.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's like they're fighting like big elves and
it sounds fun. It's a family thing.
Exactly.
That's like a Jumanji type thing.
100%.
You take the family, you can't go wrong with it.
And that's Red One. That one comes out in November. So
right.
That's when you start to pull out the you know, you start to pull out the holiday movies and get people out there to see it. So Dwayne Johnson doing another holiday one, and that comes out November. So far in November, no, it's fairly lightish so far in November. No big guns just yet, I don't think. I mean, I think the Rock and J.K. Simmons probably want to argue with me there on that one. November 15th, you got this movie, Heretic, which is Hugh Grant, Chloe East, Sophie Thatcher, and again, I know nothing. A24. So you put an A24 movie out, I'm always going to be interested. They put out really quality stuff.
What is that, A24? That's a production company?
Yeah, same company that does it's doing the Smashing Machine.
Okay,
they put out real. If you looked at the stuff that they did, you'd wind up just seeing like
quality
high quality stuff. They put out, and they don't spend. Did you see Civil War?
No,
Civil War.
I heard it wasn't good.
I liked Civil War.
Did you like it?
I liked Civil War. Yeah, I mean, it depends on. See, I think people wanted it to take like a political stance.
Oh, and it didn't.
I don't think it took a political stance at all. Some people were like, "Oh, well, he clearly is based off of Trump," and I was like, "I don't see it based off of anybody in a position of power at that point. I didn't see that." And then there are other people who on the other side of it going, "Oh, they didn't have any balls. They didn't take any shots at anybody on the right." It's like it wasn't about that. It was about these people who are on this journey through this war-torn country, and it's the relationships that they have. The same girl who's in Alien Romulus right now is in that movie, Kaylee Staney. I dug it. I really liked it a lot.
You know what's really losing me, and I don't even know if I could make it through because it's just fucking disgusting.
What?
And I enjoy certain aspects of it so much,
What?
and then the other parts of it is just like, dude.
Don't say House of the Dragon.
No, I like House of the Dragon, even though the finale left us hanging.
Yeah.
It's the fucking boys.
Oh, I didn't watch it yet.
I mean, dude.
It's not that good?
Well, there's certain things that are really fun in it, and that if they concentrate on just the superhero part and them being, torn between being good and a lot of them being shitty because they got power does corrupt, and it shows you that side of almost what it would be if the Justice League was just effed up, you know? But then, I mean, there's certain things they're doing now is just like, they get so graphic with gross shit, and it's one thing if it is, picture a human centipede. This one guy, it's picture Multiple Man, right? A guy that can make a bunch of themselves, and he walks into a sauna, and they're doing a human centipede of his face in his own ass, and just this. But it's like, but then they do a close up of it, like they do a close up of it, like, and it's like, do I have to see that? Does that make my life better? Is that enjoyable? Is that just to go? And then they all get pink eye, which is understandable. No, listen, it might get that response, which is funny, but it's fucking gross.
I think it's better to hear you explain it. To hear you explain all of the scenes in The Boys would be amazing.
I don't want to see anybody's face in an asshole. I don't want to see that, Christian. That's not what I need to see, So, I mean,
so
just stick to
the graphic stuff.
Yeah, man. So, I mean, I don't know why they need to do that stuff.
Fair enough. But there's no centipede ass eating in.
It was just the human centipede. Like, you can't unsee it. And then it's one thing from a distance, then they close up on it. And the guy's like, I was like, what am I looking at? Anyway.
This is going to be the one short that does 500,000 views. All right, so Gladiator 2. That's November 22nd, man.
Interesting.
Oh, I can't wait.
I'm on the fence.
Oh, I'm
gonna watch.
I am on board.
But
You
what
didn't
is
like that trailer?
I don't know.
The only thing I didn't like about the trailer, I did not like I didn't think
the rock music. There you go.
It was. Yeah, I didn't like the music.
Some kind of music was.
It was. I think it was Jay-Z and.
There you
and
go.
Kanye. And I didn't like the music. It didn't fit.
No.
But the movie looks fantastic. I love the cast. You got Paul Mescal. You got Pedro Pascal. Connie Nielsen returns. Denzel Washington. Look, Denzel Washington is one of my favorite actors of all time.
Oh, he's great.
My only issue in the trailer was that he seems like he's from New York.
That's what I'm hoping. I mean, listen, I hope he doesn't play it like that. Like, you know what I mean?
I'm worried about it.
He seems like he's from New York. He's out there acting like Jay-Z and he's in the fucking Coliseum.
Yeah, he's like
got the bling on.
Yeah, but
is he a freed gladiator? I mean, what's his story?
From what it looks like, he looks like he's pulling the strings, which I love.
I want to listen. If it's done well, it'll be done well. If it's a money grab, we're gonna find out.
I'm excited for it. I'm really excited. It is in my most
to live up to.
It's a lot to live up to, but it's in my most anticipated, and that comes out November 22nd. So we're starting to get into like the big bangers at that point, because November 22nd with Gladiator 2, and then you follow it up on November 27th, day before Thanksgiving, with Moana 2. Moana 2 is going to make all of the money. That movie's going to make. That's going to be
that'll be fun.
Yeah, it's another. This is the Rock with 2 big movies coming out in November.
Yeah,
you got that one. There's going to be tons. That one. Did you like the first one? You watch that with your kids?
Fun.
Yeah,
I'd sing the song if I remember it, but it's good.
Yeah, so that one will do well, and that's November 27th. They showed a lot of the trailer just came out. They had some people kind of come out and do the thing at D23. So that's one that is going to do very good. Out of all those, I actually do think Moana will probably be the winner as far as box office for that weekend. But that's November. So what do you guys think so far of all the movies that we're talking about? Do you think that we got a couple winners? Is there anything you're really excited for? Anything we didn't cover so far that you're excited for? Anything that we kind of thought was decent but you think is going to be great? Vice versa. Let me know. All right, before we move on, got to tell you guys real quick about both Rocket Money and Joy Mode. Tell you about both of them right now. Here you go.
I've told you about Rocket Money, guys, and the reason why for Rocket Money was so important is that I for a long time I used to do these things where I'd be on my phone and I'd start searching for these apps. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, I'll sign up. Oh, for free? Yeah, it's free for now, but then it's going to be $20, $30 a month, and you forgot that you're even paying it. And I was like, oh, well, this Rocket Money lets you know about what subscriptions that you have that you're not paying attention to. It can cancel subscriptions for you. It really is amazing, and it just cuts so much time out of my schedule, and I love it because you don't even know how much you're paying in subscriptions, and you're probably paying way more than you think, because over 74% of people have subscriptions they've forgotten about, and I definitely did that. I can tell you that right now. Like, there was a couple. I'm telling you, some of these apps, I tried some of these apps, and I'm like, oh shoot, I forgot all about it. You think you spend around $62 per month on subscriptions, something like that, but it's close to about 300. You're close to about 300 a month, because Rocket Money is also, it's a personal finance app. And it cancels your unwanted subscriptions. It monitors all of your spending, and it helps lower your bills so you can grow your savings. Because I got full control over my subscriptions. I have a clear view of my expenses. It helped tremendously on this move. And you don't want to waste money. So it's got over 5 million users, and they say from what they said, the average people, I think overall, everyone that's using it, 500 million in canceled subscriptions. Wow. It saves about $740 a year. It's great. So stop wasting money on things that you don't use. You just cancel your unwanted subscriptions. You go to rocketmoney.com/thing. Rocketmoney.com/thing. Very easy. Rocketmoney.com.
All right. You know as well as I do, you've been standing at that gas station, you look over and you go, oh, sexual pills. I'm going to try one of those. Don't do it. They are not good over there. Not healthy. But Joy Mode is. What is Joy Mode? When you go to the gym and you take something to help you with your workout, it's the same thing with Joy Mode. It's a sexual enhancement performer, man. It's amazing, and it works. The issue is that over-the-counter pill, it contains unregulated chemicals, it suggests unsafe doses, and it includes the risk of several other health problems. That is why we are partnered with our friends over at Joy Mode. I tried it, and man, oh man, it just makes you feel good. It's that extra pep. It's not necessarily a step, but you get what I'm talking about. Whether you're looking to spice up your intimate moments or increase your confidence in the bedroom, Joy Mode makes all natural and science-backed supplements dedicated to helping men perform better across their core functions. Their trademark product, the Sexual Performance Booster, it's every man's solution for increased blood flow, firmness, stamina, and performance. It comes in a palm-sized packet like your favorite electrolyte powder. Simply mix 6 to 8 ounces of water 45 minutes before sexual activity and watch the magic unfold. Literally. Redefine your intimacy and go to usejoymode.com for 20% off with the code BIGTHING. Appropriate. That's 20% off and free shipping with the code BIGTHING at usejoymode.com. Ingredients with integrity. Joy Mode. All right. Thank you, Rocket Money. Thank you, Joy Mode. As I say each and every episode, you want to help the show out? You want to help yourself out? Get yourself something wonderful. One of our great sponsors. Okay.
Show some fucking class.
Just an ounce.
I know. You don't say it like that. I know.
You should. You actually probably could. I should have you do the commercials of Show Some Class.
Yeah, we have fun here.
We do. So, and we should say that before we go any further. And I'll put the link in the description here. Is that Matt Serra, as I mentioned last time he was on, he's starting his own YouTube channel. It's already launched, and so that channel we're going to be taping his shows. He'll be doing to start, Matt. We're going to be doing one episode a week.
I'm so excited.
Yeah, I'm excited too.
I'm it's a new venture for me.
Yeah.
I have over 800 podcasts I've done with my good buddy Jim Norton, my Jimmy Bird from UFC Unfiltered. Mm-hmm. Mostly MMA, some fun stuff with pop culture and stuff. This one is going to be all very little MMA. That's for the Unfiltered podcast. This is going to be all the stuff that I love besides martial arts. Well, I'll talk martial arts, but all the stuff we're talking about here.
Yeah.
All the geek in me will come out.
Well, what I love about it is so let's take Bone Hawk for
Yes.
example. So what
Bone Tomahawk.
Bone Tomahawk, excuse me. So like that's something you'll see on this show. And Matt's show is like, guess what I watched last night? And he'll go into depth on it and talk about. And look, you'll probably get rants like that on the stuff with the boys and things like that too. So that's just the little things that you've seen so far on this show. You're going to see for a full hour on Matt's show.
And you never know where my ADD mind will take us.
It's true.
It's a fun ride, though. I'll tell
great.
you.
It'll be
Because
great.
I will be caffeined up. And I'm going to have my good longtime friend, Phoenix Carnival.
Yeah.
Come on with me.
So if you guys remember, for Schmodown fans, Phoenix actually, it was a New York event, and Jen Sturger wasn't around. She couldn't get there in time. So Phoenix was just there to watch the show, and I asked her if she'd want to do some of the interviewing, and she was just absolutely wonderful. She's a great person, really funny, knows her stuff. And Matt and her have been friends for a long time. So that's going to be a great show. We're probably going to be launching that show within the next few weeks.
It's going to be fun.
It's going to be good.
I can't wait.
It'll be good. All right, so let's jump now to December. This is where you're going to look at some movies that could come out that could do some award runs. You're going to see some big box office stuff towards the end. But we start with a film called The Return, which is Bleecker Street. And this is Ralph Fiennes, Juliette Binoche, Charlie Plummer, and it is directed by Umberto Pasolini. And the summary is essentially, after 20 years away, Odysseus washes up on the shores of Ithaca, haggard and unrecognizable. The king has returned from the Trojan War, but much has changed in his kingdom. His beloved wife, Penelope, is a prisoner in her own home, hounded by suitors vying to be the king. I'm on board with this already.
Me too.
Yeah. Their son, Temestulus, faces death at the hands of these suitors who see him as merely an obstacle to their pursuit of the kingdom. Odysseus has also changed, scarred by his experience in the Trojan War. He is no longer the mighty warrior from years past, but he must rediscover his strength in order to win back all that he has lost.
I'm in.
I'm so in.
I'm in. Who is this?
This is Ralph Fiennes and Juliette Binoche, Charlie The The Return, and this comes out the opening weekend of December.
You know, it's not the same thing at all, but it has kind of that, like a movie that's, I feel underrated, is that movie with Matt, The Duel. The Duel?
Oh yeah, the one.
Matt Damon.
Yeah, that's Ridley Scott and
Matt
Adam
Damon?
Driver. Yeah, Adam
That was
Driver.
a great movie.
Underrated movie.
Underrated.
Really good
and
movie.
It's one of those where you, and again, not exactly a feel-good movie, but great acting all around, and the characters, man. Yeah, I mean, and what is at stake at the fight at the end?
Oh,
you know, that, I mean, with
great movie.
And if one of them, if he does lose, it's not just his ass. His wife will get burnt alive. I mean, it's just such a
It's a great movie.
violent, and just what a great movie.
Yeah, it does have that kind of feel for sure.
It does. When you're reading that, it's like, okay.
I'm looking forward to that. I had never heard of that until we started doing this today, and I want to see that trailer, The Return. That's Bleecker Street. That sounds really good. Werewolves. Don't on that movie. And
okay. What do we got?
I don't know. I don't know who's in this. Werewolves. I think that's all. Lou Diamond Phillips is in this. Is that true? Yeah, Lou Diamond Phillips, James Michael Cummings, Katrina Law, and that's really Stephen Miller.
Lou Diamond Phillips.
In Werewolves. So that comes out same weekend. Another A24 movie. This is Y2K. Kyle Mooney directing. Doesn't have a cast or anything too. So that's December 6th. We pushed to December 13th. And here's something I never thought I would hear myself say.
What?
Craven the Hunter. I'm now interested. Did you see the trailer yesterday?
The latest trailer I seen for it
was decent.
I'm in.
Right?
And they make him out to be a badass.
I can't believe that trailer was so. I was expecting this movie to just be god awful, because you like Madame Web better than I did, but like
I didn't hate it, and I didn't know you know what it is. We'll talk about that
on streaming.
Well, I saw it on streaming.
Yeah.
If I would have went to the movies thinking it was something different, maybe I wouldn't have liked it. But I went in thinking that it was trash.
Yeah.
And I was interested. People were like, "All right, who is it? The guy's chasing him." And now
the villain was
I don't
terrible.
know. The villain was
terrible.
It was like a bad Spider-Man.
He was terrible.
What did you like about him?
Whoever the director gave that poor guy the worst direction, because his performance was just god awful.
I don't know. The girls I saw, like it gave you a little like with glimpse of what they were going to be. But my thing is this with that whole movie, Madam Web, it showed like the future, that they were going to be heroes, and If there's already 3 spider chicks around the town, what the big deal about Peter Parker coming out?
The whole thing.
Yeah, it was kind of that. That's what threw me off.
Dude, it was a mess.
I'd have to kind of make it like a multiverse in my.
Yeah, but
anyway.
Sony has just traditionally, outside of contributing with Marvel, has not been good in that Spider-Verse. And well, what about the animated? Yes, I'm talking about live action.
Yeah.
Kraven the Hunter, when I saw that first trailer, I'm like, who cares about this movie? I'm like, I like the cast, but this is just, who cares? And then this trailer comes out, dude, and I couldn't agree with you more. Like, you talk about Russell Crowe, you got Ariana DeBose, you got Christopher Abbott.
Who's the lead in it? The guy?
Aaron Taylor Johnson, Kick-Ass.
What? That's Kick-Ass?
Yeah, man.
Oh, shit. He's been doing so. He got the super serum or something.
He's doing a lot. He's
I don't know if
jacked
he's-
up in this, but he was just in, did you see Fall Guy?
I did not. I heard it's good.
You like Fall Guy?
I'm going to watch that with the wife.
Yeah,
That's going to be the
yeah,
next
yeah.
one we're going to watch.
Fall Guy was good.
So I like Ryan Gosling.
Yeah, right, and he's in it too. Aaron Taylor Johnson's in it, and so Aaron Taylor Johnson is in Kraven the Hunter. This movie, you know what this gave me? This gave me vibes. You mentioned beforehand with Dolph Lundgren. This gave me Dolph Lundgren Punisher vibes.
I like that as a kid.
Yeah, but it gave
As
me
a kid, I enjoyed.
but it
As a
gave me the
kid, I got
violence.
that. I remember I seen that one.
Yeah,
I got it from the video store, VHS, and I went back and I watched it.
it was violent.
Again, I got a picture of my age back then. I don't
yeah.
know. I was a teenager, but I loved it. I don't know. I'm sure it won't hold up.
It's
but,
not. It's dated, but yeah, but it
was violent. He looked cool.
Yeah.
He was living in the
And
sewers.
that's what I'm saying. Craven to me, I mean, obviously it's got a much bigger budget than that
Yeah.
movie, and it, but it has that kind of vibe. It looked raw, and so the report that came out last week that I talked about on my show was that so Sony was apparently so impressed with this latest version that this director turned in that they hired him on to do another movie already. Like they loved what he did with it. So
wait, for Craven?
because they saw Craven, they loved Craven so much they gave him another movie to do for Sony.
Oh, I
So-
thought you meant gave another sequel.
No, not a sequel. But the fact that this movie comes out on December 13th, that means they have confidence in it.
But it looks good. It does. That last trailer,
the trailer
won
was
me
good.
over for sure.
The trailer was
I
good.
I just saw it yesterday.
Yeah. So then, The Lord of the Rings. This is an animated movie. Lord of the Rings: The War of Rohirrim. This is a Warner Brothers movie. Brian Cox, Miranda Otto. These are the voices. It's it's animated. December 13th.
Is there any trailers for this yet?
Not yet.
I want to see that. All right, listen. I'll give it a chance.
Then the next week, you got an erotic thriller.
Oh,
That's right, Baby Girl with Nicole Kidman.
okay.
And Harris Dickinson. I don't know. And Antonio Banderas making a nice little comeback. I like
shit.
that. That's December 20th. And then these are two big movies for the families coming out, and these will probably be massive in the box office. You got both Mufasa, The Lion King, which is the live action or live animated, I guess you would call it, and Sonic the Hedgehog 3. Both of those movies, Disney putting out Mufasa the Lion King, the prequel to the Lion King with the kind of backstory. I don't know if you know. This is one that I'm not really excited for, but I think it's going to make a lot of money.
Yeah, I mean, listen, backstory. I don't know. Every time you know where the ending, you know how he ends up, it's like I don't know. What are you doing? Get a new character, do something different. But whatever.
Andor did it well.
Well, Andor did do it well. I mean, listen.
Yeah.
Shoot. Thank God Andor did it well because all the other ones were trash. I mean, besides the first two Mandalorian series.
Yeah, I set you up for that one.
Yeah, I mean, hell.
Yeah. And then Sonic the Hedgehog 3. Those are movies, by the way. The Sonic movies that have no right being as good as they are. Those Sonic 1 and Sonic 2 are good movies.
Yeah, Jim Carrey's good in those
and
too.
so I want to see if he returns. Does he return in the 30s? Gotta. No, I don't think he does. It's that Ben Schwartz.
Did we ever find out why Torben killed himself? Did we ever find that out? Why was he so good? What the hell? I just wanted to know. All right, we'll just get back to
Again, you want more rants on the Acolyte and other things, tune in to Matt Serra's show on when we debut it on the Matt Serra channel. Okay, so then that's going to be the big one. This Mufasa, Sonic, they're going to be battling it out. December 25th is Nosferatu.
Ooh.
Yeah, man.
That's the original Dracula, no?
Yeah, so they're bringing in. So Bill Skarsgård, Pennywise, is playing Nosferatu, but this is
Johnny Depp's kids in it.
Yep, Lily Rose Depp, but this is Robert Eggers, Aaron Taylor Johnson again in this one, but Robert Eggers, who did The Northman. Did you see The Northman?
Oh yeah, I like the Northman.
I love The
Northman was good.
Great. So he's the same director who did that. He did The Witch and other things. So this is a movie I am very excited for. It is not a typical Christmas movie by any stretch of the imagination, but it comes out right around that time, on Christmas itself. And then The Fire Inside is the last one. That's I don't know what that is. It's Judy Greer, Ice Cube, directed by Rachel Morrison. But that's your fall movie preview, man. What do you think? What stands out the most?
What stands out the most? I got ADD. What'd you start with in September? What did we say that
Beetlejuice?
Well, Beetlejuice is a sure thing. I think there's no way that's going to be bad.
But what's Matt Serra got to see in the theater? That's the thing. So we went through. We got Beetlejuice that we went through. I'm just going to go like the big releases that we talked about. Transformers 1. You got let's see, Megalopolis, The Wild Robot. You got Joker. There is Saturday Night that we discussed. There's Venom. Hit Pig.
Hit Pig didn't win me over yet.
Red 1, Gladiator 2. The Return, which is that one that we got excited about.
What's The Return?
The Return was the one about the guy washing up to the shore and to take things back. Kraven the Hunter, Mufasa, Sonic, and then Nosferatu. Those are the big ones that stand out on my end. What stands out? What's the one you got to see? You got to go to the theater to watch.
I'm going to say Kraven the Hunter is going to be a good time in the theater from that last. That's
the one you're picking out of all the movies.
Well, no, I mean, listen, it's also two different things there. I mean, that's also my family loves those movies, so I'll take them to see that. Beetlejuice, I think, is going to be a winner. Yeah. And that's another one I think is going to have to be a must-see in the theater.
Yeah, I'm with you on Beetlejuice. Gladiator 2 for me is...
Gladiator 2's, I think, the jury's still out for me.
Yeah, I think if I'm going to pick the four that I'm just like, I got to go. Beetlejuice, Gladiator, Saturday Night.
And I heard, that's another one I'll check out for sure. I heard the Russo brothers are coming back. Is that true?
Oh, did you not? Yeah, man, we got it.
That's huge. That's huge.
And did you hear the whole, you don't know the whole Downey thing?
I know he's coming back as Dr. Doom.
Dr. Doom. That was they announced that the same, like right before they announced the Russos.
And he's coming back just as a totally different character. It's not an alternate universe Iron Man as Dr. Doom.
That's what
type
they said
shit.
That he wasn't. That they said he's just coming back as Dr. Doom.
Well, that's cool because
I assume I just want to see how they do it. I don't. It depends on how they do it. The jury's out.
And I'll tell you, I mean, I think they're gonna right the ship. I do with Marvel.
I do.
I'm excited. I think Thunderbolts is out of all of them. Yeah. That might be the most excited one I'm about. Really? I think that. I'm telling you, something about that one looks good. It looks. I like the premise of it.
I'm interested. All right. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the fall movie preview. We had a good one here. It was a lot of fun. We went through fall through December. As I said beforehand, Matt Serra, you can find him on his channel. But Matt, you got an episode up on with Dana right now.
Dana White looking for a fight, Toronto. All right, it came out a couple of days ago. We shot it a few months back. Me, myself, Dean Thomas, Dana White, having fun in the cold.
So what do you get? So how does that work? Like if Dana's like, hey, I want to shoot one of these now. I'm flying you out.
That's dude. We've been doing this for like the last decade.
Yeah.
And I get a call, and I'm like, in a couple of weeks, we're going here. And I'm like, all right, that's it. Let's go.
Yeah.
So we went if anybody is not familiar with the series, Dana White Looking for a Fight on YouTube. You could see all the back episodes. We went everywhere from we were in Alaska, we were in Texas. I rode a bull. I did stand-up comedy at So I mean, it's a fun show where we go looking for upcoming talent. Then while we're in that town, we do something fun.
Did you guys find anybody from that show?
Yes, we did. And I don't want to give nothing. They're going to be on the Contender Series.
Okay. I meant through the history of it. Have you found somebody that's kind of had a pretty good career?
Sage Northcutt.
Okay.
We have so many fucking guys. Jared Gordon, Randy Brown, Marab.
Oh wow!
Come on.
Well,
Marab was my guy, but he came on through that show.
That's great.
You know what I mean? So now he's fighting for the title. So, listen. We get such huge talent in there. I can go on and on, but it's a great show. So
it's great. All right, guys. So make sure you check out that show. Make sure as I said, I put a link for Matt's YouTube channel in the description. So make sure you hit that. My Clips channel that I have, make sure you subscribe to that. We have all the interviews that we have coming up. I just mentioned we were talking about Umbrella Academy before. I had David Castaneda from the Umbrella Academy. I had on Michael Emerson from Lost. I had on, you know who I had on from Shogun?
Who?
Nestor Carbonell, who you'll
Where's my cough button? Wait, ready? 3, 2, 1.
Go.
Okay, go ahead.
Here, this guy. So Nestor Carbonell, who is he was in Shogun, and he was in Lost, and we have all of his clips up, and that's him from Shogun. He was so good in Shogun. He was great. He got nominated for the Emmy for that role.
Oh, wow, man. I love Shogun.
It's great. So he's a great guy.
They coming out with another, are they doing a sequel?
2 and 3. They're recording 2 and 3 now.
I can't wait.
Yeah,
I thought again, character-wise,
it's phenomenal.
The way it was casted.
Great writing.
I love the main guy in it. It was great.
It's not as good as Boba Fett.
Oh, well.
Anyway, guys,
Let's go on that. Yes.
Thank you.
Hey, and by the way, I don't know where you're going now, but are you settling into New York now?
Yeah, man.
Have you been to Pizza Supreme?
So you know what's so funny about that? There's
What,
a pizza.
somebody-
No, I'm so glad that you brought that up because there's a Pizza Supreme over here, not too far.
Pizza Supreme, yeah.
Yeah. So there's one over there, and I've stopped and gone. Should I go in there? It's good.
Get the square slices. They're known
Sicilian?
for it. It's not Sicilian.
Oh, okay.
It's their own original square.
Okay.
And it's just different. It's a different slice of pizza.
Okay.
Yeah, they've been doing this. You grew up in Long Island. You know Roosevelt Field Mall?
I grew up in Queens, but yeah.
Okay,
but
yeah.
I
That's
do
right.
know Roosevelt. Yeah.
You know Roosevelt Field.
Yeah.
When I was a little kid, they were originally in there, and then they went out of there, and now they're in that spot. They've been there
Okay.
ever since.
Okay.
It's a nice, unique pie.
You like it? Okay.
The square
okay,
pie. I'm celebrating this by going there
All right.
because we had a nice episode.
We did have a nice episode.
Give me some, brother.
There you
I'm
go.
having a good
It
time.
was nice to have you on as always. It's always fun hanging out with Matt Serra.
Yes,
So,
my man.
all right. That's it. We'll see you on the flip side, guys. Thank you so much for being here today, and for Matt Serra for joining me. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone. Fun stuff, brother.
It was good.
Good stuff, man. That flew by. But yeah, Pizza Supreme's not bad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's cool. Yeah, man. Celebrate, man. Ooh,